In technical theater, we work to create an entirely different world. Through sets, lights, and sound, we helped create the director's vision. In this assignment, we became our own directors and built scenes using skills we've learned in class.
I worked on set design, and at least to me, in comparison to other designers, I worked more abstractly. My favorite thing about tech in general is the amount of creativity that I get to control. So that's always my favorite part.
I worked on the lights, and I did it by creating a light diagram and labeling focus points on our set diagram.
No one thing was that difficult, but when you take all those individual tasks and put them together, they add up to a bigger challenge.
Lighting something that's not there yet is very difficult. Designing something that is imaginary is very difficult, but when it comes together, it looks great.
So I was using Vectorworks, and I created a 3D model of our set before we designed any of the lighting or the sound, just to make sure it looked like how we wanted it to feel, with this forced idea of perspective.
When creating scenes, problems come up. You never know what's going to happen, and it's up to us to find solutions for them.
Usually we'll be asking for a teacher to what we need to do or whatever, but instead we're trying to find out what we need to do instead of asking teachers and all that.
The biggest challenge for us was setting the plan in action, so actually building the sets out, but once we actually got started, we were on a roll.
The biggest challenge was to use SketchUp because a lot of us were unfamiliar with it, so we all had to learn how to use it together.
Our biggest challenge was probably putting the window glass itself into our window frame and figuring out how to sandwich the glass into the frame so it's stable and it doesn't fall.
I mainly was in charge of the painting and covering, just the painting and all of that. The biggest challenge was trying to get into the center of the platforms because since we used very thin, I think, plywood, we couldn't really sit on it to get to the center, so we had to get creative.
I learned about making legs straight and, making them right angles instead of actually making them crooked and stuff, so I can actually stand up.
I enjoyed seeing the set come together throughout the time period that we started working on it.
I enjoyed that we came to a group together and included our ideas, compare and contrast what things are good and what things are bad, and we came stronger as a group together.
I learned how to work as a team. Kind of knew that, this is my 4th year, but not as well as I do now. I feel like I've really bonded with my other teammates over there. We've yelled at each other, hated each other, loved each other.
I enjoyed working together as a group. Even though it was difficult, I learned team building skills.
We're all really creative, and when you work with a group, it's much more enjoyable than just working alone.
Tonight, we hope you see our passion and dedication that we bring to every show. Please enjoy our creations.